Tom's first time keeping a penguin. Tom thought putting some ice cubes in the bathtub would keep it quiet all day, but as soon as he left, the penguin accidentally turned on the faucet. The little troublemaker, unaware of its mischief, even took the time to wash its head. As the bathtub filled with water, the penguin happily swam back and forth. When Tom returned from work, he didn't notice that the bathroom was completely flooded. The moment he opened the door, the water surge knocked him backward. Fortunately, he managed to grab the stairs to avoid falling. Just then, the penguin waddled out. Tom started yelling angrily, but when the penguin heard the harsh words, it immediately turned around.
No. No.
With a painful cry, Tom finally tumbled down. Keeping a penguin wasn't his intention. Initially, he received a wooden crate delivered by courier, said to be his inheritance from his father. But when he opened it, he could only smile helplessly. He had hoped for something valuable, but inside was just an ice sculpture of a penguin. Although disappointed, it was still his father's last possession, so he placed the toy penguin on the shelf. However, while he was on the phone, the penguin somehow thawed and came to life. When Tom turned around, he discovered the ice sculpture had vanished. As he searched, a voice suddenly came from behind. A live penguin was standing there. Tom froze in shock until the penguin called out again. He never expected to inherit a living penguin. Carefully picking it up before he could even rejoice, the penguin dirtied his shiny shoes. Tom was at a loss. It wasn't that he disliked animals, but as an office worker, he had no time to care for such a creature. So he temporarily put the penguin in the bathtub filled with ice cubes. Then he rushed off to work, accidentally knocking over the wooden crate, wincing in pain. Worried about being late, he ignored the pain, got up, and left, overlooking his father's will in the box and unaware that his troubles were just beginning. Tom was originally an enthusiastic and efficient acquisition manager, but today's tardiness angered the clients, and the restaurant acquisition project reached a deadlock. Back home, he called his father's old subordinate, intending to send the penguin back. Due to poor signal quality, the other party misunderstood and thought he wanted 5 more penguins. Tom didn't notice anything unusual until he opened the bathroom door and was instantly swept away by the flood. He couldn't tolerate it anymore and decided to send it away immediately. After spending half a day feeling sorry for it, he couldn't find anyone willing to take it. Angrily, he threw his phone into the blender. Just then, there was a knock at the door. It was people from the Animal Management Bureau. They had received complaints about illegal bird keeping and came to confiscate it. However, Tom's joy was premature because once they saw it was a penguin, they refused to take it, explaining that penguins aren't birds and weren't under their jurisdiction. They suggested Tom find the appropriate management department. However, the Hunting Management Department told him to go to the Waterfowl Management Department, who then directed him to the New York Sanitation Department. But the sanitation workers only handled garbage, not penguin management. He couldn't get rid of the penguin. Exhausted, he fell asleep on the couch, with the well-behaved penguin staying quietly by his side. The next day, when the sun was already up and the owner still hadn't risen, the penguin kindly tried to wake him, startling Tom. Left with no choice, he escorted the penguin out, kindly telling it to turn right for Antarctica and keep walking. Seeing that it didn't move, Tom decided to help further. He took a vase from the hallway, poured the water on the ground, creating a northward path. Then he picked up the penguin and gave it a forceful send-off. After sending the little one away, Tom couldn't be happier. However, when he was about to go to work, the front desk called him over and returned the penguin. Tom quickly denied it was his, but the security footage was irrefutable evidence.